Most bosses in the MegaMan Battle Network series are reimagined versions of characters from other Mega Man games, but there are a special handful that were created by fans. These were made for contests and were chosen by the developers themselves so that they could turn them into official bosses. Instead of simply telling you who the fan-made bosses are, let's play a game. I'll show you 3 Navis at a time. Try to guess which one is the fan-made Navi out of the group. Comment your guesses beforehand and see how many you can get right. So, drink some water, do your stretches, and let's get started. We'll begin with MegaMan Battle Network 1. Although the first Battle Network game didn't have any fan-made bosses during its original release, a special Japan-only DS version called Operation Shooting Star featured a brand new character. Clockman was technically the last fan-made Battle Network boss, because his debut game was released after the Battle Network series ended. Operation Shooting Star was a retelling of Battle Network 1, where Mega Man Star Force travels back in time to chase Clockman down. The game itself is exactly the same as Mega Man Battle Network 1, except for an extra chapter where these 2 characters appear. Clockman was likely chosen because the developers saw a clear path to how they could bring Mega Man Star Force and Mega Man EXE together. Now let's move on to Mega Man Battle Network 2, which features the actual first fan-made boss in the series. Gaia has a special place in many people's hearts. Not only was he the first Navi fan-favorite character, Mr. Famous, operated, he's also the central battle chip in one of the most overpowered program advances in the series, which has the potential to do nearly 2,000 damage in one attack. Gateman is also one of the few fan-made Navis to appear in a chip that was event only. In this case, he appears in the event-exclusive download chip, Gateman SP. That brings us to Battle Network 3. Kingman is the first fan-made Navi to have a recurring role in the story. His operator, Tora, befriends Lan about halfway through the game and continues helping him through the final chapter. Personally, Kingman is my favorite Navi made by fans, mostly because his boss fights are really fun, and I enjoy how his chess pieces are battle chips in this game. Starting in Battle Network 3, each Battle Network game has 3 fan-made Navis instead of just 1. That means there's still 2 more Navis to identify in this game. 3 interesting things about Mistman and Bullman. They're the only version-exclusive fan-made Navis in the series. Mistman appears in white version, and Bullman appears in blue version. Despite this, Bullman and Mistman are fightable in both games, but only as Bullman Omega and Mistman Omega, since Omega bosses aren't refightable after you defeat them. White version can only fight Bullman once, and blue version can only fight Mistman once. And finally, Bullman, Mistman, and Kingman are each part of the same program in advance, Grand Prix. The components feature Team 1, Team 2, and the V5 copy of Kingman K, Mistman M, or Bullman B. The V5 copies of Navi chips can only be obtained after defeating an Omega boss, so it's actually the last program in advance players can obtain. This is also the only Navi-based program in advance in the entire series that can switch out completely different Navi chips as one of its components. Let's continue with Mega Man Battle Network 4. Video Man is known for his difficult control flipping puzzle, but otherwise he doesn't really stand out too much in the games. But in the anime, Video Man was the most used fan-made boss throughout its entire run. It's likely because his attacks were relatively simple to animate, and even in the games, most of his attacks are just him moving his arms upward. I think he just really likes to flex his muscles. Endo Man is operated by Mr. Famous, and because of Battle Network 4's unusual boss structure, it's also the only time Mr. Famous has his own role in the story. But whether it actually counts as part of the story is up to you. His Katana minigame is one of the more memorable ones, and thankfully you don't have to shovel any snow. Laserman is the first fan-made Navi to be part of an evil organization, and he's the only one to be directly operated by that organization's leader. As a result, he plays a much more important role compared to most fan-made bosses, even though he only appears twice during showdowns with Nebula. What's notable about Battle Network 4's fan-made bosses is that they all appear in the Grand Prix event chip. While Battle Network 3's version of Grand Prix is a program advance that's only usable in the postgame, this ship can be used as early as the first chapter. This is especially true if you're playing the Legacy Collection. Because of how Battle Network 4's tournaments work, you're more likely to miss one of them on your first playthrough, so this event ship could easily be someone's first exposure to these bosses, even after the credits roll. Now on to Battle Network 5, which brings fan-made bosses back to the sidelines in optional fights. I hope you got Gridman, since he's literally on the thumbnail. Out of these two, I think more people find Gridman first. While Gridman is once again with Mr. Famous in the real world, Larkman is hidden in the cyber world. And when I say hidden, I mean hidden. You'll likely see him in Undernet Area 1, but you can't get to him by the main path. To reach him, you'll have to take an invisible road in End Area 2. Meanwhile, Gridman has the honor as the only repeatable boss that you can reach as land in this game. All other repeatable fights require you to connect to the internet as MegaMan. While it was common to fight bosses without connecting online in the first 3 Battle Network games, Battle Network 4 broke this trend, and thankfully, Gridman brought it back. These 2 bosses each have program advances that are pretty fun to watch, and this time they're not connected with their fan-made status. Larkman has the added bonus of using the popular S code, so it fits well with a Katana and Shademan focused folder. Speaking of Shademan, Nebula also returns in Battle Network 5, and the last fan-made Navi in this game is also part of that evil team. Cosmoman serves as the penultimate Nebula boss for liberation missions in this story, and as the last boss you battle before you confront Regal. Cosmoman's fight requires a lot of dodging, notably more than usual. His space theme fits in really well with Nebula's motifs, and his attack patterns feel somehow familiar and original at the same time. It's really easy to see why he was given his villainous role. Time for the last round with MegaMan Battle Network 6, and once again, the answer is part of an evil team. Battle Network 6 is also the only one to feature more than one fan-made Navi in an evil organization. Each also has a very solid spot in the main story, more substantially than any of the ones before them. Circus Man arguably has the most important role, since he's responsible for awakening and, capturing the Psy Beast in the main story. It's also pretty likely that Judge Man and Element Man's boss scenarios were made entirely around these Navis. While that's normal for bosses, it's pretty significant in this case, because that also means the fans who designed them actually influenced other parts of the game. Hilariously enough, Judge Man and Element Man are also among the most used Navi chips in competitive matches, so the next time you use these Navi chips in battle, remember to thank the fans who made them possible. So, how many of these did you get right? Comment your score below, and share this video with a Battle Network fan to test their knowledge.